It's Thursday, the 30th of January 2025. Welcome to the Fast 5 Business News by Fear and Greed, where we give you the top 5 business stories you need to know in just 5 minutes. I'm Michael Thompson, and good morning, Sean Aylmer.
Good morning, Michael.
Sean, 5 stories, 5 minutes. Story number 1 is a big one. Inflation has fallen to its lowest level in nearly 4 years, and the consensus among market economists, Sean, is that the Reserve Bank will start cutting interest rates next month.
Figures from the Bureau of Statistics show that headline inflation was up just 0.2% in the December quarter, 2.4% for all of 2024, a bit lower than probably should be because of energy rebates and housing costs, but it is the lowest reading since March 2021. The underlying rate, that's one the Reserve Bank worries about, 0.5% for the quarter, 3.2% for the full year. Underlying inflation is trending lower. Reserve Bank Governor Michelle Bullock has said she'll start cutting rates when she believes underlying inflation was heading sustainably into the 2 to 3% target range that the bank likes. Treasurer Jim Chalmers yesterday said a soft landing for the economy was more and more likely. He said that the country really was making substantial and sustained progress on inflation. A load of market economists now reckon a rate cut is likely next month, including Westpac's chief economist Lucy Ellis, used to be the chief economist at the Reserve Bank, changed her mind yesterday, brought it from May to February. Commonwealth Bank, ANZ are already at February. Certainly a strong chance of a rate cut next month.
Sean, people with mortgages and business loans will be happy, but I reckon Prime Minister Anthony Albanese could be even happier.
Yes, I think so. A rate cut next month ahead of a federal poll will do him no harm at all. Now, it's worth noting that a rate cut is not a done deal, but the readings yesterday are lower than the central bank's forecasts. When the Reserve Bank board meets on February 17, 18, it could well justify no change. It wants to ensure inflation's under control. It's worried about the global economy. It's worried about global trade wars and that. But the central bank is under enormous political pressure, perhaps covertly from government, but overtly from others like the ACTU. The next question I think we'll be talking about is how many cuts? Let's hope so.
Story number 2 now, Sean. Australian soldier Oscar Jenkins, who was captured in Ukraine, has been confirmed alive and in custody, not dead as was previously feared.
The 32-year-old Melbourne teacher was serving in Ukraine's armed forces when he was captured by Russian forces last year. Yesterday, Foreign Minister Penny Wong confirmed the fact that he is alive, but threatened an unequivocal response against Russia should Mr. Jenkins face harm, citing serious concerns for his well-being. She called on Russia to release Mr. Jenkins. She said if Russia doesn't provide Mr. Jenkins the protections he's entitled to under international humanitarian law, our response will be unequivocal.
Okay, story number 3. Australian wine exports jumped by more than 1/3 last year to $2.55 billion. Thanks, of course, to the abolition of Chinese tariffs on the local drop.
That happened late March last year, and there was an immediate improvement. In fact, sales to China last year were up 34%. In total, we sold $2.55 billion worth of plonk overseas, according to Wine Australia. China takes about 36% of exports. That's the good news. The bad news, exports to the rest of the world fell by about 13%. There were big drops in major markets. United Kingdom was down, US was down, Hong Kong was down. Broadly, wine exports are facing challenges. A couple of things, health and wellness concerns. The other one, rising cost of living. Not helping is the fact that there's a global supply at the moment that's hurting prices. Good news, sales to China up. Bad news, sales to everywhere else down.
Story number 4 involves, it's got to be one of the most recognisable brands in the country now, Chemist Warehouse. And shareholder meetings to approve the Sigma Healthcare Chemist Warehouse merger were held last night. Green light, Sean, to create a $30 billion company.
That's right. Sigma is listed on the ASX. Shareholders love the deal. Basically, it triggered a re-rating. So pre the deal, Sigma was trading at 76.5 cents a share. By its close on Tuesday, its last as a standalone company, $3.03. Who wouldn't mind being on that? Chemist Warehouse is a family-owned business. The deal will make founders Jack and Sam Grant, as well as Mario Verrocchi, billionaires. Combined, they own about $15 billion worth of that company. Shares are set to begin trading on February 13 because it's a new company. It's so big, plenty of index funds, index investors will be forced to buy into the company, and that should support its share price.
Last one, Sean. Story number 5. Just get your pen out to take notes on this one because you just need to focus on this. Booking an international airfare on a Sunday, 8 weeks in advance, and flying on a Thursday, preferably in January. All right. If you can tick all of those boxes, that is the best way to save money on airfares.
That's according to Expedia's latest report called Air Hacks. It looked at all the bookings across its site. We're talking hundreds of thousands of bookings here. And it found bookings on a Sunday saved as much as 17% off international fares. This is in Australia. 20% off domestic fares. If you fly overseas on a Thursday, you can save 8%. 27% if you're flying domestically. Do that on a Saturday, you save that 27%. January is the cheapest month for domestic and international airfares, about 11% less than September, which is the most expensive month. The quietest month for air travel is February. And in terms of booking ahead, well, 8 weeks for international travellers seems to be the prime point if you want to get a cheaper fare, 6 months for domestic travel.
All right, there we go. The top 5 business stories in 5 minutes. Thank you, Sean.
Thank you, Michael.
It is Thursday, the 30th of January, 2025. Remember to hit follow on the podcast. And if 5 minutes isn't enough, you can find our longer daily show called Fear and Greed, wherever you listen to podcasts. I'm Michael Thompson, and that was the Fast 5 Business News by Fear and Greed. Have a great day.